All right, so we're back on it today, and we got some big things to handle. So we got our tank finished, we got our intake, we got our brake set up. I finally got some hardware for these struts. So this is what we're gonna run, you know, some 1/4 inch stainless button head bolts, same over here. And I was able to find a metric one. You know, it's not the same size, but you know, it's another stainless button head bolt. So those little details, I'm kind of obsessed with stuff like that. So all right, guys, we have a ton to do on this bike still, fab stuff. Let's go over what we got left to do. So the main things are getting rid of this little pinch point here and here. So this whole back neck tube is going to get cut off, and we're going to end up sleeving it with these. And so I'm going to notch it to fit on the 1 inch, and I'm going to try and make it look nice. I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to try and make it look cool on there. Anyway, so both of those will be sleeved and notched properly. And then this is junk. Like, I was just going to come in here and grind this off and re-weld it, make it look nice, and maybe put a gusset down here and up here. But this whole thing just isn't going to work. I mean, I took the nut off, so like it does go freely now, but there's no bushing. It's garbage. So what I did was I got a correct length bushing, or correct length bolt. This is a grade 5 bolt, and it's 1/2 inch, and this bolt is 5/8. So we're going to ditch the 5/8 bolt. We're going to go with this 1/2 inch bolt. I got this piece of 1 inch tubing, and I got these bushings. These are 7/8 outer diameter, this part here. 1/2 inch inner diameter, so our bolt will fit through there. And we're just going to take, I think this is a piece of 7/8 tube. So we're going to take that out, and we're going to replace it with this 1 inch, which is going to snowball like everything does. And we're basically going to have to redo. We're going to cut all this off, put that piece of tubing in there, come up with some different gussets. And then we're going to probably end up cutting this whole piece of the fork off and redoing that part, because I don't like the way that it is. I don't like it. So, and then on top of that, headlight. This was the headlight mount, and it wasn't really going to work anyways, so we'll end up making a headlight mount. This is our headlight if you haven't seen it. I think it's a really cool piece. I got it at a swap meet. So, you know, a ton of stuff to do. I want to make a cover for this, but this guy here is, you can see this bar right here is straight as can be, and that's what I was going for. But then this guy here, you know, I kind of just basically put the bungs in there in the middle of the frame, and you can see what it's doing here. It's going up. So I'm going to cut those bungs back out, and we're going to lower them down basically to the bottom of the frame, and that's going to do a couple things for us. One, it's going to allow us to get rid of this brake hose, and I'm going to use this brake hose. This is a cool brake hose, guys. It has removable ends, and it comes with 4 different ends. So these are clockable, removable, and you got, it comes standard with a straight one and like a 15-degree bend or a 20-degree, I'm not sure what that is. And then it comes with 2 different 90s, so a 90 that goes like that and a 90 that goes like that. Now this is actually perfect for us, because I'm going to take this, especially when this is lowered down, this 90 is going to go under the frame, and we're going to have a couple of hose tie downs that come off of this rear frame here, or off of the frame plate. And then over here it's going to come up kind of like this, but it's going to come down here, and then it's going to hook up, and we got a 90 for here, which is perfect. You know, this is like a 45, so actually the 90 will come out and it'll be perfect. It'll hook under here, and it's going to look really sweet. So I'll put a link to this. I thought this was really cool. If this is a good hose, like the actual hose, I'll probably use these in the future, because this is really nice to be able to clock these ends and have options. You know, they give you 4 different ends. So normally I'm ordering brake hoses and I'm looking for specific ends. This one really doesn't exist for the most part on most hoses that I find. So That was kind of what I was looking for, and then I saw this, and it's going to work perfectly. And if this is a good quality hose, this is what I'll use from now on, because I love the options there. So, oh yeah, the other things is we're going to end up, I got to take it apart. So I got to take the tank back off of it. I'm going to go ahead and take the motor out, take the seat off. We're going to end up, after we've fabricated all of that, we're going to come in here and we're going to weld these sections here and make sure that this stuff back here is good. So we're going to end up just blowing this whole thing apart in this episode and doing the finish work on our fab. I think it's all going to happen this time, maybe, but it's going to be a fair amount of work. And then a cover for this once I move this, and then maybe a small cover over there. So it might be more than one episode, but we're getting close on this. I'm pretty excited. This thing is just snowballed. You see things that I thought I was just gonna, do this and that, put a motor on it, maybe put exhaust and an intake, and maybe, this and that, and ride it. And then it's like, oh, well, I got this, I'll build this tank, and, new bottom plate, and new bar across here, and build a foot brake, and, it's just a snowball. And it's a ridiculous amount of work for a freaking mini chopper, but I just can't help myself. So we're just gonna keep going on this thing till it's where I like it. And I'm excited. Let's get to work.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one. Only one. Until I broke the rules, my life destroyed. A life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? What can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero.
Alright guys, I wanted to check with you and show you where I'm at. So, let's see. We got everything welded up on the frame. We got our gussets welded in. We got everything welded up. You know, I got all this back here welded up. I did all this touch up. I ended up taking these out and lowering them down as far as I could in the frame. Welded those back up. Finished welding everything around this thing. It took me quite a while and spinning this thing around. So we are at the point where we're going to put the neck on this thing. So right now I believe it's close to where it was before, and I'm going to go ahead. I took the forks and I welded these washers on here. These are, I believe, a 7/16 washer, which is like a tight fit on a 1/2-inch bolt. So I'm going to put the fork on there before I end up cutting all this off, because I am going to cut this off. But I want to put the fork up there and make sure that it sits where we want it to, and maybe make an adjustment to it. So I have the frame right now sitting on the rear tire. So I have it sitting on the rear tire. It's sitting at about 2.5 degrees up right now, which I think should be pretty perfect as far as, you know, when you sit on it and having it be close to level. Plus uphill a little bit, it looks cool. So let's see how this lines up. Maybe we'll end up making an adjustment. The neck was at 45 degrees, so we'll see. That's where it is right now, and we'll see if we need to make any adjustments to that. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Alright, there we go. I had to make some adjustments because the neck, the way that the neck went through the forks, it wasn't straight. So like they had the hole off this way and that way. So I made some adjustments to it, got it straight in there, and everything is sitting pretty much, it is sitting exactly how I want it. This is right at 45, maybe just like 45.5 degrees now, which is fine. Steeper the better for this thing. It was already, you know, raked out pretty far. So, I think I like it the way that it's sitting. And, I'm going to go ahead and try to pull this off without disturbing anything. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to be welding this in here and bracing it up and the gussets and stuff. But, I'm going to do something to hold it in place, and then we'll figure it out. But I need to get these forks out of the way to start with. So, but it's late. I've been working on this. I finally got a few hours to get into it today. So I made some good progress. Got this whole frame welded up, and hopefully we can get back on it again tomorrow. At least that's the plan. But we'll see. I'm not sure what we got going on tomorrow. Nope. Alright, I'm going to call it a night, and we'll address this hopefully tomorrow. Get this guy welded in here. Alright guys, I lied last night. I stayed up, and I got distracted with a couple other things, and I ended up making these spacers right here, these gussets, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to go ahead, and they're just notched little pieces of tubing that took a lot of back and forth to get them to fit, but you know, we got them in here. They're a pretty good fit. I'm going to go ahead and weld these up, and I'm going to weld in right here as well. And then when we're done, if these little gaps, if I like them, we'll keep them. If not, we'll take a little piece of metal and we'll fill these in. And then I also am going to put some sort of a gusset right in here. Just on this piece of tube, maybe more as like a decorative thing, but we'll put the tank back on, and we'll make something for there too. So let's go ahead and get this welded up. Alright guys, I am liking this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the tank on, and then we'll look at everything and we'll see what kind of a piece of metal we're gonna put in here, or if we need to at all. Alright guys, we got this whole thing done here, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. What's next? The forks. So the forks here, this thing isn't going to work. I mean, I could run it basically just how I've done it and just weld these washers in, but I don't want to do that. So my plan is I'm going to end up cutting this whole plate out right here. This fork, I mean, this is good. The handlebars are fine. This whole thing down here is great. It works good. But this, I don't like the way this is done, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece out, and I'm taking measurements to build individual like triple tree plates that I'm going to weld across here, and then I'll weld a plate down the middle, and I might reuse this piece here, or I might make something new there. But actually this piece is kind of fine, so we'll see. We'll see what I want to do. But we're going to go ahead and get this guy. Well, I'm going to go inside and design these pieces, and then we'll, well, I guess I'll cut it out now just to get it out of the way. Let's hope that these bolts come out of here. Alright guys, we're back on it. I ran out of welding gas for a few days. We had a big snowstorm, but we're back at it. I got the triple trees, these pieces made. This is our centerpiece that's going to get welded in here once we get that all situated. This is our new mount for our coil springs. So I got this piece and then these two pieces. So we're changing everything from like 1/8 inch. This is 3/16. This stuff is 1/4. So I think I'm going to end up remaking these anyways out of 3/16. They're a little bit, you know, they're 1/8 inch and they worked okay, but actually one of them was bent. So that's a sign that we should probably go ahead and upgrade those. Here's our springs. I went ahead and just sandblasted these. I've been doing a lot of sandblasting, as you can see. The whole fork got sandblasted. These are the springs. I sandblasted them and just hit them with the wire wheel, and they look nice and shiny. So I'm going to use them like that. But that's our mount there. And then The fork, this part of the fork, I'm actually going to polish, and I have already done some polishing on it, and it actually looks pretty dang good, especially on camera. I have made preparations to re-weld all these joints here. I got to redo this one before we do this, but what I have to do at this point is, once I get that fixed, we need to put all this back together. I need to put the wheel back on because it's going to change everything, you know, depending on where I mount, where I weld, you know, this on here and where these forks go, because they could slide up or down right now, and these triple trees are not welded at all. Like I said, I'm going to fix this because, I mean, look at these welds on here. They're pretty terrible. So I'm going to grind these out. I've already ground the ones out down here, and that's when I figured out that I didn't have any more welding gas. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get that fixed, and then I'm going to throw everything back together like I said, and we'll get this thing tacked together, and then we'll get it welded. And it's not all going to happen today because I got to go pick up my son soon, but I got gas for the welder this morning, and let's get to it. Alright guys, back on it again, another day. Everything I touch on this thing, there's something wrong with it. So this leg, remember I said one of these brackets was tweaked? Well, it's because this leg was like this. It was cockeyed like this. I don't know why I didn't notice it before now, but I was getting ready to put everything together and I noticed that this leg was like that. So we've got 90% of the weld cut away, we got it straightened out, and I gotta re-weld it. And same here, I gotta I'm gonna grind out the rest of the welds here, re-weld both of those, and I made up the spacer so that it's spaced evenly. So that's the plan. Get that welded up, and then we can get it back on the bike, put everything back together. That's where we are right now. We're trying to get everything where we want it. So I got the rear wheel back on, I've got the blocks under it, I've got it sitting the way I want it to sit. So I gotta fix this, get that back on there, put that back together. I'm still going to end up remaking these plates here, but they'll do for now for mock-up, and we'll remake these at a 3/16, and they'll work exactly the same. So let's get this welded up. Oh, also I did end up getting this, getting this welded up. So those are good, and this is our this is ready to go on the bike once we get all this done and put the wheel on and, you know, all that stuff. Alright, so these were my first ones. You can see they're not even falling out. I made some adjustments, and my second ones, bam, look at that. Just like that. That one stuck to the table, but they turned out a lot better. So what I've been doing, let me grab some pliers or something. Grab something here. Alright, so what I've been doing for a lot of my holes is, I'm going to try this. This is 1/4 inch, and then I just drill because it just can't get a good, precise hole when you need accuracy. So, I got these. These are my replacement pivot plates. I don't know what you want to call them. Let me grab one. So this is what we started with, and this is what we got. So I'm hoping that this works. If not, I might have to go and do some redesign. I wanted it to look sleeker and nicer, and actually it's like more like this. So, but I thought this was kind of bulky, to be honest with you, and it doesn't even make sense the way that it does this. And the peak is right here, so I redesigned it. These are made out of 3/16, so this is 1/8 inch maybe, and I got to get these cleaned up, and then we'll see if they will work for what we're doing. Alright, this is supposed to be my headlight mount. Seems a bit shorter than I need it to be, but we're going to find out. Might have to engineer it, make it a little bit longer. We'll see. So I got these plates done and installed. And now I got to start on another project for my wife, but I want to get this part done. No, that'll work. I'm sure that'll work. So that's basically my idea, is to weld it there and then bend the end of it so that it's upright more. Oh yeah, okay. So the hard part now, I guess, well, I'm going to clean all this up, and then we're going to try and bend this right here. I wonder if that's enough. Might have to bend it on my actual little thing there. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Might need to go back and change it a little bit. Alright, I'm going to clean this up, and I'll get back with you. Alright, there's our bracket. All bent up. You know, I bent it on that slot. It really helped to bend it. It would have been really hard for me to bend this actually without that, so that kind of worked out for me. But let's see. Let's bolt the headlight to it real quick. Alright, that's basically it right there. I wanted to get it low enough that you would still see the springer. So that's my plan right there, is to weld that just about like that. And I gotta get that up there. I gotta get it centered. I gotta get it tacked in, and then put the light back on it and make sure it's flat. And don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have to put any gussets on it, but I might put some gussets on it. Another thing I need to do. There's so many things to do. I need to put steering stops. So I need to devise some sort of steering stop for this, because it literally turns almost 90 degrees. So that's a thing. So I'm going to get this bracket centered, tacked in, and we'll get it installed, get this headlight on here. And I think that might be it until we move this thing off the table. Or I might come out here later if I can and put a little bit more time into it and maybe get these steering stops, because that's kind of, it's not the last fabrication project, but it's getting pretty close. I got to make a couple of what do I got to do? I got to make a couple of covers. I got to make a cover for that clutch and the e-brake, or clutch and the brake stuff, and then I'm gonna make a cover over on this side of the motor for the pulley. So those two things, plus getting this on there, plus steering stops, And then that actually might be the last of the fab projects. So let's get this thing on. Alright guys, there it is. I wanted to set it down, but you know, I don't have a kickstand on it. Man, there we go. There's the bracket from the side. There's the headlight from the side. There it is from the front. There's those front fork plates finished out. So it's looking really good. Pretty happy. Super happy actually with this front end. This front end is looking rad. So we still have to get the tire swapped out because we got this foam tire on here still. And we got a white wall for it, so that'll be interesting to see what that looks like on there. I might swap it out later if I don't like the white wall. But I remembered I have one more fab project besides those other ones. I have to I'm going to take this seat. I'm going to take this seat and take the pad off of it and widen the frame of it so that it contours this better. And it'll make it more comfortable and it'll make it look better on the bike. So steering stops is the next thing though I want to figure out. So I want to get this whole fork thing set up or finished up completely. So I got to come up with some sort of a steering stop. Ooh, God, that's hot. I got to come up with a steering stop. It's probably going to get welded in here somewhere and contact the frame, or could do it up here. Yeah, so I gotta come up with something for that. All right, guys. So I got my steering stops made here, and that's basically how they go on to the head tube, except for, you know, point this way, and then so they get mounted on that plate that's on the front of the forks, and then this part contacts right here on the bike. So I'm going to get those welded in or tacked in, and then I'll show you how they actually work. Okay, we got a headlight mount, we got steering stops, we got it all, baby. Alright guys, here it is. Steering stops, you can see one right there. Bam, comes in contact there. Same on the other side, you can see it's just a U shape bracket. I could have made it as one if I would have really thought about it, but it doesn't really matter. I welded it together in the middle there, so it's like it's one piece. So there we go. We got steering stops. We got a headlight. I don't know if I talked about this, but I am polishing parts of the bike. I'm not going to polish the whole thing, but I did polish these lower plates, and I polished this. It's just polished raw steel. I'm going to polish these springs up more, but I started to polish those. So like this part of the front of the springer is definitely going to be polished like it's chrome. It's not going to be chrome. And then I think this is going to get painted or blued. I'm thinking about bluing the frame. So, but also this rear fender, I polished this rear fender out, so that's going to stay polished. Yeah, I'm really happy. Here's the other side of that. Really happy with the progress we're making here on this. But I have another project I need to start on. It's my wife's birthday present. You guys are going to find out about that in the next episode. I'm going to start working on that thing tomorrow. And hopefully we can get it done because her birthday is coming up in a couple weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching. please smash that like button for me, hit the subscribe, drop a comment below, ring the bell to get notified of future videos coming out from DJ's Hot Rod and Fab. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.